Hello, my noodles. Your goddess finds herself alone on the, I think 2 days that are immediately uh, after Christmas in the Northern Hemisphere, I believe. And I have entered a different part of my brain. So I thought I would bring you along as I sketch this painting. Noodles, this was such an interesting painting because it feels a bit as if things leapt from my brain to the page. However, that is not quite how they work unless you include the hand. Or, yeah, this is the hand, right? Sometimes when I'm drawing noodles, I get bogged down in the details, and I really have to remind myself that at a place like this, I should be doing just the really big forms. But sometimes it really does feel like I can't move forward without helping a character's form take more. I suppose by more, what I mean, noodle, is more themselves. Give them more form, more mass, more story. Tell you, the viewer, about it, about them. I suppose by more, what I mean, noodle, is more themselves. Give them more form, more mass, more story. Tell you, the viewer, about it, about them. Sometimes, my noodles, I do kind of wonder if other people, when they're doing character design, do they consider themselves to be guiding a character to their fullest potential? Do they just see themselves as fleshing that person, being, entity, item out on the page? If I had artist friends, I would ask, but I don't, because everyone is in hiding. But yeah, what do you think you're doing when you're adding form to a character? How do you see it? How do you view it? Sometimes you have to redesign a character entirely, and sometimes that means that you're going to take a little bit from the design that you already have, and sometimes that does mean that you're going to take none of it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that there's more wrong with being committed to something that doesn't fit within your composition than there is with erasing a character. Maybe they'll appear in another work. Maybe they will never be drawn again. But, oof, balance of composition is a lot of the work. Hey Noodles, if this is the first part of this that you have watched, I am planning a drawing in real time, and then I'm going to paint it, hopefully. I might lose interest, but this seems really interesting, so I doubt it. That said, while I am asking you guys questions, I did kind of realize, I wonder, how does my method compare to others in a different way? Do you work small details to large details to small details? What's your starting place? Okay, Noodle. Now that we have gotten each of the characters roughly into their space, what I want to do is I want to kind of make their outfits a bit more complete. In my opinion, when one is going to be painting, you don't want to leave every single detail in the sketch because it's taking a lot of work out of, well, it's a lot of work that you don't need to do because you're going to cover it up before it's useful. That's just the reality of it. And let's be honest here, there are many realities about art that we should just come out and say. Also, look at my cute tentacles, they're so cute. Hello, my noodles. So, a few shorts ago, I said that when you're sketching, don't put too much detail. However, I want to put a caveat on that. When you need the detail, as you see me putting in here, it's because you are also making sure that you don't put important things there later in the painting. I feel painting is an additive process where you're continuing to put in new things until it's done, which sounds simple, but the things I mean are massive details that you just have to hold in your head. One thing that I know about myself, Noodles, is I love to see the individual little things in a painting. I love to look at it and keep finding more and more and more. And as I am someone who loves that, I try to put it in my work. But also, remember, oh, I'm going to have to paint all this. And that's really kind of what makes things take time. Detail is time. Hello, my noodles. I was traveling through the dark last night on my way home, and it prompted me to think about how visually dark a lot of our media is now. And I wonder if they're doing it to push the contrast, or if they're doing it because they're getting the contrast scale wrong, which seems a little bit more likely because, hey, mistakes are made. But did they ever really fix this problem for the more pricey productions, is what I guess I would say? Oh, my noodles. Another thing that pops into my head and that I think I want to do with this year is really expand because I draw a lot of cute art and I love it. And I like to make things cute and dark. But also, do you know, I would love to just make some dark art, some art that's just a little bit scary, or maybe a little bit horror, or maybe a lot of it. Who knows? I just, I really remember, and even now I enjoy horror, but I really remember that there was this one inspiration. Oh, my noodles. Another thing that pops into my head and that I think I want to do with this year is really expand because I draw a lot of cute art and I love it. And I like to make things cute and dark. But also, do you know, I would love to just make some dark art, some art that's just a little bit scary, or maybe a little bit horror, or maybe a lot of it. Who knows? I just, I really remember, and even now I enjoy horror, but I really remember that there was this one inspiration. Hey, Noodles. I I kind of deeply despise that when you tell someone that you're bad with time, they either tell you to set your clocks ahead, no, or they just assume that kind of means you're struggling with the concept of showing up places on time. No. I'm bad with time, as in, like, it literally escapes me. I swear I was just getting out of bed not long ago, and the day is already over. Like, obviously that sounds like a normal passage of time, but no, I was just busy all day long, and before I knew it, my schedule had taken me through the whole of a day. Hey, Noodles. One reason I actually kind of think that maybe I like to do this with you, because I'm thinking of how to wrap this up, um, is because sometimes I think that I talk too much. One of my friends affectionately calls it eldritch story time when I get rambly, and it's cute, and I actually do need to do some eldritch story time with y'all. But for now, I must admit, bringing you along on this journey has been rather pleasant for me, and hello, my noodles. Good morning, if that's the time of day for you. As I was drawing this, all I could think about was, oh, I love monster design. I love monster design because just each of these creatures looks so different and has such a different story behind them. It's going to be so exciting to get to tell you about them. In my last short, I will tell you about, for, correction, my last short for this one, I will tell you about what we are going to do next with this project. Time for nothing but very little details. We're nearing the end, Noodles, and that means paint. Paint and color design, and tones and shadows, and oh, if planning this was fun, bringing it to life is even more fun, in my opinion. Okay, my noodles, so here we are. This is the last short for this sketch. I'm going to gather these all into one video, and then I will also make you guys another video where I show you how I paint this. Probably not going to talk about how I paint it, who knows, but I will definitely show you as much as I can of the process and the work, as long as it turns out. Also, this turtle needed to be bigger.